here on the court today, her sister and her niece, Kaylin and Haley. At this time, we ask the representative from the St. John H, Gran Deglaze, to send forward for its top, and representing your alumni, Ashton Smith.
Good evening, folks. Welcome to today's Knockstrom TV broadcast of the London Lightning versus the visiting St. John's Edge. Chris, starting lineups today for the St. John's Edge. We have at number 3, Alex Johnson, number 5, Desmond Lee, number 23, Carl English, number 24, Charles Hinckley, and number 55, Gran Deglaze. Any surprises there for the St. John Edge tonight, Chris?
Nothing too terribly different that we've seen from the St. John's Edge team. One of the big difference, though, having Carl English in the lineup. Last time these two teams played, English sitting out due to a suspension, wasn't able to play. Ended up going to overtime that game. St. John's, on the back end of a back-to-back, took London to the fourth quarter with a 16-point lead. London was able to battle back in that fourth quarter, and you got to wonder if A, Carl English was in the lineup, and B, if maybe St. John's got a little tired at the end of that game. That could have been a completely different ball game. So I think coming into this one, having a guy like English in the lineup makes a big difference, makes a world of difference for this team.
And then starters for the Lightning on the floor to start will be number 0, Mo Bolden, number 9, Doug Herring Jr., number 15, Garrett Williamson, number 42, Julian Boyd, and number 44, Ryan Anderson. No big surprises there for us. We've seen this lineup start the last couple games for the Lightning. Big news in the building, though, tonight. On the bench for the Lightning, we have Royce White.
Well, not quite on the bench. He hasn't been activated, but he is in the building. He's in a very sharp suit, I might add. We haven't heard any word on what this means for the Lightning going forward, but he is at least in the building. Looking at the lineup for London, though, having Mo Bolden and Julian Boyd, that gives them a nice size advantage against St. John's to start this game.
And the tip-off goes the Lightning way to begin. Doug Herring Jr. controls the ball for the Lightning. No upper bowl today in Budweiser Gardens, but lower bowl looking pretty hype here for the game. Julian Boyd with the floater from deep, and the crowd sits down already. 2 quick points for the Lightning.
Yeah, nice quick start there for the Lightning, and thankful for a lot of players a lot of the fans here in London. Not much of a wait before they can take their seat.
So into the interior here, out to Johnson. Johnson with the 3 from the corner. Just a little too light there. Bolden with the rebound. Ryan Anderson with the ball. Anderson will take a deep 3 of his own. No good, a little too short off the rim. Alex Johnson control ball here for the Edge. Whips over to Carl English. English looking to maybe move past Anderson. Tries to get it to Glaze. Ball deflected. Boyd with the ball. Down the court. And they're going to call offensive foul here on Julian Boyd. Good move by Johnson getting back to take the foul there.
Crowd really not happy with that decision. There's a couple thousand referees that don't like it, but the ones on the court going to give the offensive foul there to Julian Boyd. Alex Johnson doing a good job getting in the way of that one. Of course, when you're Alex Johnson at 5'10", you see Julian Boyd coming at you. A lot of players might just want to sort of get out of the way, but Johnson takes the contact.
So that's Charles Hinckley with the 3, and that's going to fall for the Edge.
And he's shooting 45% from back there. You cannot leave him open. He's going to make almost every shot beyond the arc.
And so Anderson tries to feed Boyd on the interior. We're going to get a foul here. Looks like Gran Deglaze is going to pick that one up early.
I think Hinkle thought that was on London there. He was already on the other end of the court.
And the refs will stop play here briefly.
Pardon me, a fan has noted English missed the last game not because of suspension, but because of an injury. My bad.
And active today for the Lightning, Kirk Williams Jr.
Big
back
difference.
Kirk Williams Jr. back in the lineup. Brian Akinkube is going to take a seat instead in his place. Anderson's going to collect that rebound, though, and can't make the basket fall his way. That's Lee with the ball now. Johnson trying to make a move past Anderson here into the interior. He'll feed Glaze underneath the basket. Glaze, and that's going to fall for 2.
Well, Gran Deglaze has been a really great player for this team here. Drafted into the G League last year. He didn't actually come into the NBL here until this past season. And that's going to be a tough job by Mo Bolden. Way to get to the rim there. But Gran Deglaze is one of these interesting Canadians that St. John's has. Of course, they've got a lot of guys with national team ties, and Gran Deglaze did spend some time with Team Canada over the summer.
So as mentioned, Bolden takes a tough foul there. He's going to take 2 here for the Lightning. Bolden goes 1 for 1 to start. 2 for 2 for Bolden. 5-4 Edge lead. Johnson over to Glaze. Glaze dishes over to Lee, I believe. That's Hinkle with the ball now. Bolden in tight on him. Hinkle takes the shot from the free throw line, and that's going to fall. A little floater there.
I kind of like Bolden defending Hinkle, but Hinkle just too good on that one. A very difficult shot.
And Herring Jr. with the ball. Trying to make a move past Glaze. He'll feed Boyd down low. Boyd making a move on the much smaller Johnson. Overmatched there, but no, a little too tough off the glass. Johnson feeds Hinkle. He's going to take a deep three, and my goodness, what a three from Hinkle there.
Absolute heat check, and he's still hot. He's still got it.
So Ryan Anderson feeds Boyd on the interior. Boyd, no, underneath the rim, can't make it go. He steals the ball away from Desmond Lee, my apologies, and gets the basket of his own.
Well, that's all hustle there from Julian Boyd, and he really is one of the hardest workers on this Lightning team, able to get himself 2 points there.
So Desmond Lee makes a move inside. No good there. Anderson with a little bit of a deflection. Glaze with the rebound, and Boyd with the block on him. And the refs say out off a Lightning player, so it'll be the Edge ball here.
You know, not to throw a ton of Boyd praise right at the start, but he's been absolutely phenomenal defensively over the past couple of games for the Lightning. And he's had very different matchups, too, whether it's Glaze tonight or even in the game against KW having to guard Derek Hall, the 7-footer. He's been able to handle every assignment and been excellent at both.
So Hinkle with another three ball, and he can't miss. He really can't. Just start this game. Hinkle already with, I believe that's going to be point number 8 for him. Williamson going to the inside, tosses out to Bolden on the arc. Herring Jr. will make his way in. Little floater will find a way into the basket.
And Herring Jr. in their last meeting was really the crucial Lightning player. Had 11 points in the fourth quarter to make that a tie game and send it to overtime in that one.
And Boyd with a great block off of Glaze there. Glaze slicing down the middle. Boyd doesn't give him any chance. Herring Jr. out on the exterior. Three a little bit too much there. And Bolden trying to tap that ball away from Lee. That'll go out of bounds. Lightning ball.
I think he was actually trying to hit Lee's arm so that Lee would end up hitting the ball out of bounds. A little bit of craftiness. I don't know if they taught that in the Spurs system, but...
And my apologies. Hinkle's with 11 points already. That's 11 of the Edge's 13 points so far in this game.
Just feed him the ball, man. No one else needs to shoot the ball the way Hinkle's shooting right now.
So Johnson crosses the timeline here. He'll feed out back to Johnson there. And Boyd with a great read on the pass, but Johnson comes up with the ball. A little too hard off the glass, though. Bolden with the rebound. Ryan Anderson inside to Boyd. And Bolden with the three ball, no good. And sorry, on the court, we missed a substitution there. We've got newcomer to the Edge there, Ryan Reed.
Yeah, a guy with actual NBA experience, played 5 games with the Thunder, and also a second-round pick in 2010.
And a three ball from Johnson there, and the Edge are hot from deep to start the game here, Chris.
This is a little scary for the London Lightning. They saw what can happen if St. John's gets hot early in their last meeting. Got to be a little nervous with the way everyone seems to be shooting the ball on the Newfoundland team.
So Garrett Williamson making a tough move towards the basket there, and that's 2 points for the Lightning. 16-10 Edge advantage so far in this game, 5 minutes deep. Johnson dishes over to English. English takes a three of his own, and that's going to be a foul on Ryan Anderson. English is going to take 3 here.
I mean, if you can make them all, it's just as good as a three-pointer, so why not?
And we've mentioned the Edge's three-point shooting so far this game. One of the league leaders in both three-point attempts and three-point percentage. And not a lot of strength on the interior for the Edge. So really they make their money outside from the arc.
Well, I think a guy like Reed being picked up was with an eye towards that interior play. I think they've got some strength with Glaze, but they don't really have any towers over there. Adding a guy like Reed, he's not necessarily a tower, but at 6'9", he is the tallest player, or one of the tallest players on the roster. And he's also a tough body to move. This is a guy who averaged 11 and 8 in his last during his final year in the G League, and a guy who's able to kind of do some of the dirty work down low. So I think that was why Reed was brought in, just to play a little bit more physical down low when they need to.
So English goes 3 for 3 from the line there. Anderson crossing court here for the Lightning. Dishes over to Kyle Johnson on the court now for the Lightning. He loses control of that ball but collects it himself. Garrett Williamson down the baseline. And we're going to get a foul here on the Edge's Russell Byrd.
Byrd, a familiar face for a lot of London fans. Of course, start of the year on the KW Titans as part of a three-way trade. Also was with the Moncton Magic last season. Pardon me, they were the Miracles last year.
And so Williamson with a little bit of a deep pass there. Looked dangerous. Henkel gets his hand on that, but it's still going to be Lightning ball here. So Johnson in there to Williamson. Williamson. Bolden with the corner three, and that's going to find its way in. And the Lightning, not one of the lower teams in the league on three-point makes, but really they've come up with timely ones this year, if not needed ones. And Kyle Johnson, he floats down the court for 2 points there. Great turnover and work by the Lightning.
Going off of your three-pointer mention, though, London not making that many threes compared to other years, but they have so many guys who historically are great three-point shooters in this league. You got to think that's going to turn at some point. Anderson going to commit a foul on the attempted steal there.
So a lot of tension being played to Henkel to start the game here. Rightly so. He has 11 of the 19 Edge's points so far in the quarter. Lightning on a little 5-0 run here to get back in the game. Carl English with the ball. He'll take it to the basket, and that'll float in off the glass. Marcus Capers now on the floor for the Lightning. He's going to take a three ball of his own. No good, a little too short off the rim. Byrd dishes over to Skeet. Byrd inside to Reed. Reed's going to try and get Boyd back here, and it looks like we're going to get
I believe that's a foul on Boyd.
Boyd doesn't like the call here. He's going to walk towards the bench. All right, folks, so we're going to take a quick media timeout here halfway through the first quarter. We'll join you on the other side. Welcome back to the other side of the timeout here in London with the hometown London Lightning trailing the St. John's Edge early in this game, 21-15. We've got an Edge rebound after a Julian Boyd foul on the other side of that timeout. Carl English with the ball. He'll take a corner three. No good. And that's Friesen Laddie with the rebound, but he's going to take a foul. Newcomer Ryan Reed's going to pick up his first.
Yeah, not sure that's the kind of foul you want to see there. That was Reed was pretty far out of the way to try and get that rebound. So, again, St. John's are going to need their big men in this one, especially if London can throw Boyd and Bolden out there. So, not the best foul to take.
So Capers down the floor here for the Lightning. He'll go baseline, feeds Friesen Laddie out there at the top of the arc. No good from three. That's English with the rebound. English, who missed the last game against the Lightning, already chipping in 5 points in the first quarter for his team, so making a difference as well already, as well as Hinkle. Hinkle dishes on the inside to Reed. Reed up and gets his first basket.
And I think that's something St. John's needed, someone that can be at least dangerous down in the post, and Reed's already showing that.
Capers makes a move over to Williamson. Williamson dishes out to Bolden at the top of the arch. 3 of his own, no good there. Friesen Laddie with the rebound. Little floater will go for 2. So Skeet with the ball here. Jaron Skeet makes a move over to Reed. Reed feeds English. English tries to get to Reed, can't handle it, collects the ball though. He's going to back Bolden up here. Little floater and off the glass and good. So the Lightning struggling with this St. John's Edge offense so far in this game, Chris.
And you know, the more they can go to Reed on the inside, the more this is going to open up things for Hinkle and English on the outside.
And Williamson with the floater, no good.
So if you can keep feeding Reed and he can keep getting buckets, you can open up a lot of points for yourself.
So Skeet flips back to Reed and quickly flips it back to himself there. Skeet looking to set up some offense here. English with the 3 ball, and that's going to fall. And English and Hinkle just on fire right now for the Edge to start this game.
And that came because the defender who would have been at that corner in that zone had to drop back and respect Reed's game. You open up that 3-point shot for English.
So Capers going to feed Williamson here. Williamson being guarded closely by Byrd. He's going to make a move over to Bolden. Bolden trying to go inside. Little
Beautiful.
2 off the glass. Nice move by Mo Bolden there.
He kept the ball high, too. He made sure no one could get a hand on that when he was cutting to the rim.
Skeet directing some traffic there down on the floor. He tries to feed Reed, but no good there. Reed zagged. Looked like he should have zagged on that one. But new to the team, you're going to work those things out eventually.
And again, very impressive. I mean, he's been very impactful on the inside, and because of that, we already saw him open up opportunities for other guys there.
And so big man Rensford Brempong will check in here for Ryan Reed.
But I mean, if you've got Reed going in the inside, they had 4 3-point shooters surrounding him. If he can keep getting those points inside, he's going to do nothing but open up space for those guys to shoot those threes.
So Kyle Johnson checks his shot, throws up a 3, no good there. Brempong with the rebound. Skeet moving down the floor, almost loses control of the ball. Skeet over to Hinkle. Hinkle with a throw up too. No good though. Kirk Williams Jr. is going to pick up the foul on him there.
If he made that, I was leaving. I wouldn't be able to handle that. Seemed like he was making almost every shot.
Very much one of those almost DeRozan lean-ins. Let's get the foul and get to the line in here. And Kirk Williams Jr. unfortunately took the bait there. He checked into the game along with Ashton Smith here for the Lightning.
Again, Ashton Smith, we talked a bit about him last game, but they haven't played since. One of the newer additions to the London Lightning. Previously played for the Brampton A's. Was a teammate of Kyle Johnson's while he was over there.
So Hinkle getting a little extra attention from the crowd now that they know what he can do. But he'll go 1 for 1 at the line. And just 1 for 2 for Hinkle. And looks like we're going to have an a lightning foul, yeah.
Or no, I believe it was a lane violation.
So Hinkle's going to get his shot back. And I believe they're calling it on Kirk Williams Jr. So a freebie for Hinkle here. And he makes up for it.
I can't remember the last time I called 2 games in a row where there was a lane violation.
No, very unusual to even hear it once a month. So Capers with the ball here. He'll drive the lane. Trying to go over top. And we'll have an edge foul here. Not quite seeing the number, I believe.
I believe that was Hawes.
Yeah, that's number 15 on the floor for the Edge, Tyler Haas. Kyle Johnson dishes over to Capers. Capers trying to make a move inside on Hinkle. He'll throw a little floater up, and the prayer goes.
And he gets it back.
Smith with the ball back. Yet 2 minutes left here in the quarter. We've got a 30-21 Edge lead here. Capers feeds Smith on the outside. Smith going inside. He'll lose control of the ball, but they're going to say it goes off the edge. Hinkle appealing to a ref.
I think the refs are going to talk about it here.
Still Lightning control, though. No change in the call there. So Smith with the inbounds here. Deep to Kyle Johnson. Johnson makes a move. Capers. Outside to Kirk Williams Jr. 3 seconds left on the clock. Very little time left on the clock. Capers throws up a prayer. No good.
I don't think it hit the rim, or I don't think it got off in time.
So we're going to have a shot clock violation here on the Lightning. A little bit sloppy in their own end there. So the inbounds to Johnson. Johnson over to Haas. Haas will feed it back to him.
I think they're going to call moving screen on Brempong there.
No, we've got a foul on Ashton Smith holding on to Brempong. So he was moving because Smith wouldn't let him go.
There you go.
So Johnson throws over to Brempong. He'll take a shot from the top of the line, and that's going to fall.
I was going to say, almost every shot he took in warm-up seemed to be those top-of-the-key jumpers there.
So Smith over to Capers. Capers looking to make a move past Skeet. He's on the inside, throws another one up on the glass, and Capers has that ball coming off the glass his way right now.
He wants some fouls. But, I mean, he's still getting the bucket, so why not?
So down to a minute left in the quarter here. Johnson trying to get past Kirk Williams Jr. Dishes back outside to Skeet, and he's on the line there, so that's going to be an over and back.
I don't even think it was the over and back. I think he was out of bounds on the sideline here. Either way,
the Lightning forced a turnover there.
And it would be the over and back. They're putting him on the right side there. Good call, Brendan.
Thank you, Chris. So Capers, he's going to take it inside the lane. Feeds Friesen Laddie on the outside. He'll take a shot from the free throw line. That'll be 2.
Great pump fake to get the defender to leave his feet there.
So Brempong with the inbound. The Lightning playing the full court press there, not letting much happen, but that's going to be an open lane there for Haas. And Haas gets an easy 2. So the press backfires on the Lightning there. Friesen Laddie looking to make a move past Lee. He'll lose control of the ball. Nope, we're going to have a foul here.
I believe that's going to be on Ellenson for reaching in.
So an inbounds here from the Lightning with 23.7 seconds left. Friesen Laddie with the ball. He'll feed Smith. Smith over to Johnson. Little scoop there to Capers. Capers looks like he's going to take it himself. No, he'll feed Smith cutting to the inside, off the glass and in.
Tough shot.
So Brempong inbounds there to Johnson. Smith guarding him closely. Johnson throws over to Haas. Haas with the deep 3. No good. A little too strong there to end the quarter. So at the end of 1, we've got the Edge with the 34-27 lead over the hometown London Lightning. This has been Knoxstrom TV Broadcast. We'll see you on the other side. All right, folks, welcome back to this evening broadcast between the hometown London Lightning and the visiting St. John's Edge. I'm Brendan, here along with my partner Chris. Chris, in the first half, second opportunities really defined it there for the Edge.
Yeah, the Edge out-rebounded London 14-7, and were able to turn those shots into points. 5 of 8 from three-point land compared to 1 of 9 from London, and that's where you see that big edge that they have right now.
Ryan Anderson, 2 early fouls. One of their big three-point threats really took him out of the game early, unfortunately.
And a little surprising, too, because Anderson had the 1 attempt from three-point land. Of course, he didn't play a ton of minutes, but Kyle Johnson, the other notable three-point shooter for London, also only had 1 attempt. So London, 9 attempts more than the Edge had, but maybe you want to see those three-point attempts coming from different guys.
So Edge began the game with ball. They'll turn it over there on the rebound attempt by Brempong. Smith across the timeline here for the Lightning. Smith feeds Capers down on the baseline, and what a finish there by Marcus Capers. And he's going to let the Edge know that he's not going to let this go.
And they just double dribbled.
Wow, what a turn of events there. Maybe the glare from Capers getting into the Edge's head a little bit.
That's 2 big momentum swing plays right there. Jaron Skeet going to come into the game for Johnson, but just 2, 1 error, but 2 big momentum swinging plays there.
So Smith with the ball here. He's going to cut to the inside there off the glass. A little too strong. Brempong with the rebound. Skeet down to Lee. Lee feeds Skeet. Skeet cutting into the lane. He'll feed Hinkle on the outside. Hinkle back to Skeet. 3 of his own. No good. Off the rim. Johnson feeds Friesen Laddie, no good. That's Hinkle with the rebound.
Oh.
And a very, very tough block there.
A very physical screen set by Hinkle.
And he's going to pick up the foul there. Capers still on the floor.
Yeah, that was a pretty nasty shot. And I don't blame Coach Vassell for wanting to talk to the refs about that one. There's a little extra oomph on that.
Yeah, Capers back on his feet. Looks fine. Maybe just one of those unexpected take the wind out of you type of plays. He should be good to go.
And I think they just teed up.
And Marcus Capers is going to collect the technical there, folks.
It's either Capers or Vassell. We'll see if we can hear it over the boos. It is indeed on Capers. Not sure what he said when he went by the refs.
So Capers trying to argue his case with one ref. We've got Coach Vassell trying to argue case with the other ref. So the Lightning are going to collect themselves here while Hinkle takes a shot.
Capers talking to the ref again.
So Hinkle makes his basket, and we'll have Edge possession here. Capers still pleading his case with the referees. So Haas inbounds to Skeet.
And these 2 teams are very close in the standings. Almost identical records, same amount of wins. This has the potential to get pretty heated here.
And so we've got an offensive foul here on the Edge, and we will turn it over to the Lightning. And so a little bit of a messy start to the second quarter here so far, Chris.
Very slow one, too. I mean, this minute 30 is probably taking about 7 minutes.
So Ashton Smith with the dribble across the timeline. Looks to feed somebody. Kyle Johnson with the ball. Lee guarding him closely. Capers on the interior. He's going to take Haas to the inside. No good off the glass. And Capers is going to go to the line here.
I know Capers took that technical, but at least from the view up here, he's mostly remained cool. Again, when you take that big hit, your almost immediate reaction is to let the adrenaline kind of take over there. Capers done a good job staying under control. I don't know what he said to the ref, but it looked pretty calm from up here.
So Capers goes 1 for 1 there. Looks like we'll get a big substitution package here from the Lightning in a moment. And Capers 2 for 2 there from the line. Lightning have trimmed the lead down to 4. 35-31, the Edge lead. And so the crowd, they're going to clap Marcus Capers off the floor there, I believe.
A whole sweeping substitution there for the Lightning.
Or sorry, Capers still on the floor. My apologies. They're just going to give some big ups there to the team.
4 players substituting off in that one change. That's another
offensive foul.
That one's going to be on Glaze.
And the Edge kind of shooting themselves in the foot to begin this second quarter. Not a lot of work offensively.
Already up to 4 team fouls, and we're not even 2 minutes into the quarter.
So Herring Jr. back into the game. Takes his time. He's going to make a move. Boyd underneath the rim. Just unfortunately couldn't collect that basket quite quick, but he survives it and picks up the foul to boot. So that'll be 2 and 1 to the line for Julian Boyd.
Good patience by Boyd. Let the defenders leave their feet first, able to connect and get 2 points. Potentially here for a third.
So the ref, it sounds like he's calling for quiet on the court almost. He gave the little hand motion. Mouths, stop talking.
I think that's just going to get the fans talking, if anything.
So Boyd too strong, but Anderson tries to collect the rebound. No good. Henkel will get the best of him there. Skeet being guarded closely by Herring Jr. Henkel feeds back to Skeet. Skeet over to Lee. Almost leads him a little too much. Lee Herring Jr. tries to get the best of him. Lee cuts into the lane, and that's going to be a bucket and 1 for Lee. Great dribble and drive there for Desmond Lee.
That's going to be number 3 on Julian Boyd, too.
And a very foul-laden game so far. 5-2, the Edge unfortunately leading the Lightning in the category so far in this quarter.
11-6 for the Edge. 11 fouls by the Edge compared to London's 6 for the whole game so far. Make that 7 after the Boyd one, pardon me. But again, Boyd at 3 fouls. We talked about London having the advantage in the size department. Just like that, Boyd has to sit, and your advantage starts to go away a bit.
So Lee goes to the line for 1 and drains it. Williamson with the ball here for the Lightning. Williamson feeds Capers. Dishes over to Anderson. Anderson over to Bolden. Bolden for 3, and no good. Lee with the rebound. The Skeet here. Skeet over to English. English thinking 3, no. Over to Skeet. Skeet inside to Reed. Reed trying to dish Lee on the slash inside, but misses him. Henkel collects the ball, though. Floater no good. Capers with the rebound. Capers leaves it behind for Herring Jr. Almost a very dangerous play with Henkel right there, but no good off the glass. Reed with the rebound. Skeet over to Henkel. Williamson tight on Carl English there. And Ryan Reed on Garrett Williamson. A little bit of a mismatch there. Reed much bigger than Williamson, and he'll back him right up for 2.
Yeah, too easy right there. At the same time, I don't even know who you switch with necessarily that can handle the size of Reed. That was a good sub as soon as Boyd had to go out.
Anderson feeds Bolden there. Over to Williamson on the corner for 3. No good. And Carl English.
English and Capers both down to the floor there.
And some good love, no love lost there showing between them. A little pat on the chest for both of them. Good to see.
Foul is going to go on English.
So we'll have the inbound here for the Lightning. Herring Jr. looking for Ryan Anderson on the interior. Nice feed off the glass, and that's going to take a couple bounces and in. And that'll be Anderson's first bucket of the game. Carl English from the free throw line. Little floater, no good. Anderson with the rebound. Feeds Williamson. Williamson moving quickly down the court. Bolden underneath the basket. He goes off the glass for 2. Great play offensively there for the Lightning.
And that's how London's going to get back into this game, those plays in transition. They're able to run. They did this last year. They won a championship doing it.
So Bolden trips there, but he's back up in the center. So he'll try his hand against the Reed, and no, we're going to get a blocking foul there on Mo Bolden. And
I like the idea of Bolden, just kind of pull the chair out, but it didn't work that time.
So Ryan Reed, the new addition to the Edge, really showing his hand right away. Pretty big difference maker, 6 points so far for the team. Couple rebounds and an apple. 3 for 3 from the field. And Ski with a great play there to Carl English. The Lightning caught off guard. So Anderson dribbling his way baseline and loses control of the ball. English with the turnover.
That's one where you kind of want to see him pass out of that.
English sets up this 3-ball, no good. Reed with the rebound. Travel. Too many steps there for Reed underneath the basket. And
checking in the game, Johanni Dallenberg for the London Lightning.
The refs kind of forgot about the ball there. Oh, yeah. There he is there.
Are they going to make London do everything here?
So Dallenberg feeds Herring Jr. Herring Jr. looking to make a move. Over to Williamson. Williamson down the line. He'll throw a tough floater up. No good. That's Byrd with the rebound. Skeet across half court for the Edge. Skeet looking to make a move. He'll feed Hinkle. Hinkle going inside. He'll lose control of the ball. Luckily, Carl English there to bat it back. English. And we're going to get another foul there on Mo Bolden.
They're going to say it's on the floor. Bucket doesn't count. Mo Bolden, though, taking another foul, pardon me.
That'll be Mo Bolden's second. Mo Bolden's second of the game there. So the Lightning still with a couple to give in the quarter, but the Edge will have to clean things up a bit if they want to stop themselves from going over the limit. Only one more to give. English feeds Brempong, but that's on the floor. He'll lose control of it. Ioanni with a little bit of a swat there. And
it's going to be on Anderson, number 3.
Anderson reaching in there, maybe holding Brempong.
So Boyd at 3 fouls, Anderson at 3 fouls. I know both teams getting up there in the foul count, but for London, you're having it concentrated on 2 of your better players.
Yeah, lots of 1s and 2s in that department for the Edge, but you've got 3 on Julian Boyd, 3 on Ryan Anderson, and you need those guys to make a difference in this game. So Brempong, no good on his first. And Brempong goes 0 for 2 there. Boyd gets that off the rim. So Herring Jr. over to Bolden. Bolden feeds Williamson. Williamson tries to go outside to Herring Jr. That's going to be Byrd with the foul, though. And Bird's going to get teed up for yelling there at the ref as well. So the Lightning will get one end possession here.
Ref's clearly making a statement. They're not going to take any back talk in this game.
And actually, that's 7 there.
That's going to put them over the limit. Doesn't really matter here. They take the technical.
So Byrd just getting a little bit too emotional in that instance, letting the refs know his feelings.
Coach is calming him down over on the bench.
Oh, Williamson with a little bit of a lucky roll there.
See, now he gets the ones for being over the limit, I believe.
So no good there for Williamson.
They're still shooing everyone away. So they had the foul. Those are the two Williamson took, and then this one here's the technical shot, I believe.
And so Anderson throws a similar shot up to Williamson on the first, and that's good. So the Lightning get 2 points off the technical and foul, and then we'll also maintain possession. Big swing in a close game, Chris. So just over 6 minutes left here in the quarter. We've got a 42-39 game. The Edge still holding on to their lead. Herring Jr. feeds Anderson on the inside, but can't quite handle it. Turns it over to Lee. Lee over to Hinkle. Hinkle back to Lee. Skeet out there. Carl English being guarded closely by D'Alembert.
This is a mismatch, though.
Carl English with the three from the corner. No good there. Bolden with the rebound. Bolden over to Williamson. Williamson back to Bolden for a deep three. No, he'll bring that down. Tries to go baseline. Little too strong there. D'Alembert with the rebound. He'll go back up on his own. Unfortunately, no good on the basket, but he'll go to the line for two. All right, folks, so we're going to take one more media timeout here for the second quarter for Knoxstrom TV. I'm Brendan with Chris. We'll see you on the other side. Back from our timeout, I'm Brendan once again with Chris Croucher. So Yoani D'Alembert is going to take two shots here after the foul. And every foul here for the Edge is going to be a freebie from here on out.
Yeah, you got to look at that half and wonder if London made those three-point shots, what a different game it might look like. 1 of 12 three-point shooting tonight for the Lightning.
So D'Alembert goes 1 for 2 from the line. Lee with the rebound. Skeet's going to move across half court here. Skeet feeds English. English going baseline. And that's D'Alembert is going to pick up the foul there. So English makes a move, forces D'Alembert to take the foul there. So English will shoot 2 from the line.
English, one of the better free throw shooters in NBL Canada right now.
And English proves you right. And so a little bit of a stall from Charles Hinkle on the other side there. 11 points in the first quarter, only 14 into the second, well into the second here. Anderson with the deep three, no good. So clearly the Lightning have keyed on him, making sure he doesn't get his hands on the ball too much.
And Anderson, a guy London really needs those three-pointers from. That's only his second attempt in the game. Of course, he had some foul issues earlier, and that's why he hasn't had as many.
And so Herring Jr. thought they had the turnover there, but the ref rewards the ball to the Edge. As Alex Johnson comes on the floor here. He'll swing out to English. English feeds Glaze on the interior. Glaze outside to Hinkle. Hinkle's going to take a three. No good. Hinkle ends up on his back. Down to Herring Jr. He'll finish with the jam. That will get the crowd on their feet. What a finish there by Herring Jr. Great sight there by Williamson, too, to feed him the ball. Oh, and English loses control there. And Dallenberg just takes it right from him.
That's right where Hinkle fell, too.
Anderson inside, and almost the finish there from Bolden, but we're going to get the foul here. That's Desmond Lee who's going to pick it up. And Bolden was about to send the roof off this place if Lee doesn't take the foul there on him.
Yeah, they're making sure they mop up that wet spot down on the other end, though, because English slipped almost exactly where Hinkle had fallen earlier.
So Bolden will take two. One for one there for Mo. And the Lightning tie the game up, first time since we had zeros.
It's been a slowly but surely comeback there for the Lightning. A lot of good hustle plays to get back into it. Another big factor, the Edge have really kind of gone cold from the three-point line, shooting 60% at one point. Now they're down below 40.
So Carl English looks to make a difference there from three. No good. Glaze tries to corral the rebound, but that'll go out of bounds off of his hands. It's going to be Lightning turnover. Another missed three in the quarter for the Edge there, Chris. So a substitution here for the Lightning. No, we're going to let it play out.
Yeah, Friesen getting ready to come in, just not quite yet.
So Herring Jr. across the timeline. Over to Johnson on the perimeter. Three ball, and the Lightning need that.
Either him or Anderson had to start making those three-point shots, and Kyle Johnson answering the bell right there.
And with that three, the Lightning take their first lead of the game with just 3 minutes left here in the half. So Carl English looking to slash the interior. Dallenberg is going to pick up another foul there. Not on the shot.
I think Carl English has asked for the shot every time he's been fouled.
That does put the Lightning over the limit, though, so English will go to the line anyways.
Checking into the game, Joel Friesen Laddie for Ryan Anderson. Fans familiar with Carl English. A little bit of jeering.
So 2 for 2 for Carl English. 47-46, London Lightning lead. 3.5 left here in the first half of this game. Herring Jr. over to Friesen Laddie. Friesen Laddie looking to make the pass. Over to Dallenberg.
I was going to say, they got a mouse in the house.
Friesen Laddie, floater off the glass. Little too much.
Ooh.
It's Friesen Laddie on the floor. Lee's going to collect the rebound over here. And the ref's going to call for time just to make sure Joel Friesen Laddie's okay there.
That had some real bad potential as you had two bodies going up for the ball right there, and Friesen Laddie unfortunately underneath.
Yeah, really a smart play there by the refs and the players just to keep everybody safe there. It could have been bad for a pileup, especially if that ball got loose.
Yeah.
So the St. John's Edge will take a timeout here with just over 3 left. Chris, the Lightning, like you said, have really just kind of nickeled and dimed themselves back in this game. We know they only had 2 made threes. The big baskets from deep aren't coming easy. Really getting under the basket, making their moves around the rim, just like they have the last couple games.
I think one of the big factors is they've been able to get Anderson had to sit out at the very beginning of the game due to his foul situation. Him and Johnson, 2 of the better defenders on this team. So when they were able to bring those guys out, they now had the length, and I think that's why a guy like Hinkle has struggled a bit in the second quarter, because he's been dealing with a longer, more athletic defender on him for this entirety of the second quarter here. We also saw a lot of shots by the Edge that were tough shots, where London played good defense. That didn't really happen as much in the second quarter here. Some of those tough shots didn't go down. London just kept playing the same way, just kept steady, kept doing what they've been doing, waited for that little bit of a down streak to happen by the Edge, and have brought themselves back into this game now with the lead, with only 3 minutes left to go in this half.
And like we've seen so far since Royce White's departure, just scoring by committee here for the team. Nobody really standing out so far. Mo Bolden with 11, Marcus Capers with 8, Julian Boyd with 6. Garrett Williamson surprisingly only had 3 points, especially after the last couple games we've seen from him.
Well, he just came off a 29-point game. Williamson probably having the best year he's ever had with the Lightning, the way he's playing this year. But it looks like tonight he's a guy that maybe the Edge have keyed in on a bit.
So Alex Johnson down the court here. And we're going to get a defensive foul here. That's the Lightning.
I think it's going to be on Friesen Laddie.
And Carl English, the last guy you want to send to the line here, he's going to take 2.
Yeah, they're going to say Friesen Laddie got a little too handsy when English was trying to make a break.
English 2 for 2 once again. The Edge pop back in the lead for the moment, 48-47. 3 minutes left on the clock. Smith with the ball. Inside to Johnson. Johnson, little floater, real short there.
Didn't look decisive on that at all.
Yeah, Kirk Williams Jr. loses the rebound there. Johnson's going to recover. Carl English with the ball here. Inside to Reed. Williams Jr. giving him a hand. He's down on the floor. Lee underneath the basket.
They almost forgot about Desmond Lee coming out back door there. Everyone going to the floor for the ball.
Kyle Johnson feeds Kirk Williams Jr. Over to Johnson. Johnson steps back. Top of the key, no good. Ball floats out. Desmond Lee with the ball here. Feeds Johnson, slash into the inside. Off the glass, no good. Johnson with the rebound. Kyle Johnson over to Kirk Williams Jr. Kirk Williams Jr. takes it inside himself. Hinckley with the block. Desmond Lee down the court. Hinckley, strange there. In the first quarter, you might have seen him step up and take that 3, but he chooses to pass instead.
I do think Hinkle did a good job making that extra pass, so Alex Johnson, a good three-point shooter in
Johnson
his own right.
with a great deflection off the pass there from Ryan Reed. Running out of time on the shot clock. Friesen Laddie with the block.
Now you put the Edge in a tough situation. 2 remaining on the shot clock.
And so they need a quick play here. Hinkle with the 3 ball. No good. That'll be a shot clock violation off the... No one didn't touch the rim.
Stopped the play?
Yes, I believe so. Kyle Johnson feeds Kirk Williams Jr. Down low to Williamson. Williamson no good off the glass.
Again, the mistakes the Edge are making, London not capitalizing on the other end.
So Johnson with the dribble. And a little too long there. Ryan Reed can't get to that ball, so the Lightning with the turnover. Marcus Capers going to step back on the floor here with just over a minute left. Garrett Williamson going to have a seat. Kirk Williams Jr. over there to Ashton Smith. Smith over to Friesen Laddie. Friesen swings it over to Johnson. Desmond Lee in very tight on him. Johnson off from the top of the key. Little floater. Takes a couple bounces, finds its way. Alex Johnson here. Over to Reed. Reed feeds Desmond Lee. Desmond Lee down low to Hinkle.
Offensive foul on Hinkle. I think they say through the arm to get around Friesenladi there.
That'll be Hinkle's second of the game. 32 seconds here left to play. Smith lets it roll. He'll activate the clock. Feeds Kyle Johnson with a deep three. No good there. Carl English with the rebound. About a 3-second difference between shot clock, game clock here.
There might be a foul down low. No.
Hinkle with the ball here. Hinkle will feed Ryan Reed down low. Oh, Capers comes flying in. But we're going to get an offensive foul on Ryan Reed there.
I believe the offensive foul was when he came around. Again, almost an identical foul. He had the arm come out when he was going around Friesenladi. You just like to hope he's okay here. Capers came flying into that play. I don't think there was any intent.
So Reed gets back on his feet. Looks fine. So we'll have 10 seconds here. Shot clock will be turned off for the Lightning.
Going to have one quick substitution here by the edge.
Skeet's going to come on the floor here for Carl English.
Now I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah, not sure.
Timeout.
Yeah. So the Lightning will grab a quick timeout here, perhaps figure out their play with 10 seconds left. We saw this their last game against Kitchener-Waterloo, drawing up a play with very little time left on the clock. Worked well for the Lightning then. They'll hope to grab a basket and take the lead into halftime here, Chris.
And again, this is where you just go with the bread and butter play. This is where you grab the one that you always see in your playbook and you always think about it. This is where you get to pick your favorite. Last time, I believe it was Herring Jr. ended up with the bucket. Or was that Williamson?
I believe it was Williamson.
Williamson, okay.
Williamson with that great game. And Ryan Anderson, unfortunately, coming off that triple-double against Kitchener-Waterloo. 2 rebounds, 3 assists, only 2 points for him so far this game.
Yeah, it's a little uncharacteristic because you've got Anderson and Williamson combining for 6. And again, those have been the guys who, in their most recent stretch, have really been leading the way for the Lightning offensively. The Edge have done a good job of negating those two. With Williamson, they just aren't letting him get under the bucket like he's so used to. And for Anderson, it was a little bit the fouls at the start, but for the most part, the Edge have been playing like really suffocating defense on the perimeter.
So both teams will come off their bench here. See what the Lightning have drawn up. And looks like the Edge will come out with a substitution there. They got Brempong on the floor now. Ryan Reed on the bench now. So Ashton Smith will take the ball to start the clock. Kyle Johnson with the ball. Down under 3 seconds. Throws up a prayer of a 3, and whatever the Lightning drew up, I don't think it materialized there, Chris. But we'll take you into the half here with the Edge leading the hometown London Lightning 50-49. I'm Brendan with Chris, and we will see you on the other side of our break. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the second half of the game between the London Lightning and the visiting St. John's Edge. I'm Brendan Jameson here with Chris Croucher. Chris, a first half defined by rebounds and turnovers for both teams, really.
Yeah, a lot of turnovers by the St. John's Edge, but unfortunately the Lightning unable to take advantage of that, unable to turn those extra chances into points. As for the St. John's Edge, absolutely out-rebounded the Lightning. They got their extra opportunities that way. It'll be interesting to see what adjustments we have coming into this half here. If London can get back in the rebound game, and if St. John's can make sure they don't have any more turnovers.
So the Lightning start out with the ball. Julian Boyd's going to take a three, and he hits that, and he needs that to begin the half. Only 6 points in the first half for Julian Boyd. 3 fouls, spent a lot of time on the bench in that second quarter.
I think London in general needed a three-pointer. That's only their second of the game.
So a back and forth game ever since about midway through the second quarter. The Lightning now lead 52-50. That's Glaze Glaze goes up. Williamson with the block. I think their shoes got stuck together down there.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of the Velcro catching each other down there.
So that was a clean block there by Williamson. We're going to have an inbounds here with just 8 seconds on the shot clock for the Edge. The Johnson with the Hail Mary out there to English. Down under 5 to shoot. English going to make a move. Loses the handle a little bit. He needs to shoot the ball. Just a backwards prayer there from Carl English with aware that the shot clock was winding down. And
they don't teach that technique in basketball school, I don't think.
Williamson with the ball here. He's going to slash towards the rim. No good there. Carl English across half court here for the Edge. The Lightning really pressing their defense down there. Grabs the turnover, does Mo Bolden. Garrett Williamson with the finish. And that's a basket he needed desperately there with only 3 points in the first half from him. And already an early timeout here from the Edge.
Yeah, that's a lot of breakdowns there. And we talked about them needing to correct their turnover situation. What do? Turn it over within the first minute of the quarter. So for the St. John's Edge, take this timeout. Tell everyone relax, calm down. You can't let London get momentum, especially when they're in this home crowd. So this timeout is to just get the crowd to quiet down a little bit, get your guys relaxed, settle them down on the bench, bring them back out, say, hey, we know our adjustments are going to work. We just got to stay calm and make sure we follow through on them.
You look over there on the St. John's bench, and Ryan Reed looking very vocal there on the bench. You've got a guy who's got some big game experience, had a cup of coffee in the NBA. Does that help you out on the bench there, you think?
Well, I mean, he's veteran experience, 31-year-old, has experience playing in France, playing in the G League, playing in the NBA for a bit, 5 games with the OKC Thunder, a second-round pick. He also has experience being in the ACC back in college when he was a player at Florida State. And I think anytime you have those veteran guys, Carl English, another example, those guys who just know what they're doing when they get in that huddle. We've seen a big thing about NBA players starting to draw up some plays and take over the coaching a bit in the NBA, and that's a good thing. It shows your players are involved. It shows your players know the system. So anytime you have players who are taking the reins like that, anytime you have players who understand the system or trying to get guys pumped, it's always a good thing when they're vets.
And the Lightning, with a few players who would dare say cold in the first half, coming out strong here in the first half for the Lightning. Julian Boyd drains a big 3, and Garrett Williamson with the big flush before the timeout there.
Well, it's 2 things we didn't see much of at all. 3-point shots and Garrett Williamson points. But again, they come out here. I like Garrett's aggressiveness. He didn't get the bucket on the first one, but going to the rim, trying to get some of his shots.
So Alex Johnson with the ball here. Looks to feed Ryan Reed underneath. Reed feeds Hinkle. And that help defender came over, really opened things up for Hinkle there.
Beautiful passing, and Reed, again, recognizing that he had the help defender coming, able to make the play, because anytime you have help defense coming, there's going to be a guy open.
So Anderson makes a beautiful pass there to Williamson. Williamson finishes under the rim once again, place that is very familiar to him, and he also picks up the foul.
And this is Garrett Williamson's bread and butter. Get contact under the rim, get to the free throw line, turn it into a 3-point play. If we talked about 3-point plays the way we talk about 3-point shots, you could argue he's one of the best 3-point players on the London Lightning, the way he's able to get to the line and get those extra buckets.
So Williamson misses that, but Julian Boyd runs over Hinkle on the way to the rebound there, and that is not good for the Lightning. That's foul number 4 on Julian Boyd.
They're going to tell him to play through it, though.
Coach Vassell out there telling Julian Boyd to let it go. He looked like he was going to have some strong words for the ref there. And once again, another turnover from the edge. An offensive foul the other way. Carl English getting a little too handsy down there, trying to move past some Lightning players.
They gave up a lot of extra opportunities in that first half. London wasn't able to convert, but there's only so long you can keep doing that before it starts to bite you a bit. And now we're starting to see it bite back just a little bit.
So Herring Jr. over to Anderson. Anderson no good off the three, and you saw him kind of double clutch the shot there.
Should not have hesitated.
Had to think about it, and really maybe just the first half affecting him a little bit from that range.
Again, a bit of a rough shooting night. I think he thought that defender was hot on his trail. A little bit surprised by how much space he had on that, and it kind of knocked him out of rhythm.
So Mo Bolden takes the foul there on the rebounding effort. So the edge ball. Alex Johnson trying to move some players. Boyd's going to force him out towards half court. Feeds Ryan Reed. Much big mismatch there. Herring Jr. against Ryan Reed.
Mouse in the house.
Hinkle goes for a deep three. That's no good. Boyd collects that shot. Herring Jr. over to Anderson. Anderson takes a deep three, and that is much needed, and the crowd lets him know that they are behind him on that one.
If Ryan Anderson gets going, this is a completely different basketball game. St. John's Edge got to lock him up.
So Desmond Lee with the ball here, over to Johnson. Johnson down to Ryan Reed. Reed's going to back Boyd up. That floater's good.
Just having that big body presence for the Edge just really adds a lot to them. Ooh.
So Williamson tries to make a move around Hinkle. They both fall to their feet. Hinkle's going to pick up the foul here.
It's going to be number 3 on Hinkle, pardon me. Pardon me, that's going to be number 4 on Hinkle. Nope, 3rd, pardon me. No, 4th, they're listing at 4th. We're getting differing views from the PA and the stat sheet here.
So Herring Jr. is going to throw in the inbounds pass here for the Lightning. Boyd with the ball.
There's another foul. I think this one's on Carl English.
And once again, whistles and stoppages so far in this game, really slowing things down, maybe keeping both teams from getting in a real offensive rhythm.
Well, the way both teams were playing at such a breakneck pace at the first half, maybe a little breather's not a bad thing for them.
So Julian Boyd over to Mo Bolden. Bolden's going to step lead to the interior. Boyd's going to take a long two, no good. Desmond Lee with the rebound. And the Edge top scorers, Hinkle and English, both with 16 points, also now with 4 and 3 fouls. Could spell trouble if the Edge can't find more secondary scoring. English with the ball. And no good on there. Reed with the rebound. Williamson's going to knock that out of his hands, going to be out of bounds for the Edge.
Got to box out, at least make that a little more difficult for Reed to get that rebound.
So we've got Russell Byrd here on the floor for the Edge now. Ref's going to tie his shoes before the inbound.
It's important. You don't want to trip out there.
So Alex Johnson over to Byrd. Bird's going to take a 3 ball. No good there. Mo Bolden collects that rebound. Herring Jr., 3 ball of his own. No good. Not a very pretty air ball, but Julian Boyd with great effort collects the rebound. He goes over top of the fans. They're okay. Boyd's okay. Bolden misses the tough 2 there, contested in the center.
That could have been really nasty.
Yeah.
Thank goodness Boyd was able to clear that row.
That's the second game in a row we've seen a Lightning player clear the fans. And the Edge are going to have another turnover here, Chris. Another trip down the court with no points. No opportunity even.
And again, all these turnovers, all these extra possessions you're giving the Lightning. London, again, did not capitalize in that first half, but you can't keep giving it to them. And that's how London's got themselves in the lead here.
Herring Jr. with a tough move towards the rim, and that's going to fall.
See, that's another extra opportunity that London just turned into points.
So Byrd trying to find someone to pass to. The Lightning not giving them any opportunity.
That was awfully close to the time there.
And Reed's going to find an easy bucket. The Lightning not able to get back quick enough to defend there. Ryan Anderson. English in tight on him. Over to Herring Jr. Herring Jr. is trying to back Johnson back up. Johnson goes inside. No good off the glass. Ryan Reed made that difficult on him. Johnson directing some traffic here.
Trying to go down low to Reed. They got a mouse in the house.
So Reed with a little floater, but floater, a feed. I'm not quite sure what that was.
I believe it was a shot that was affected by the help defense, but Russell Byrd, Johnny on the spot. Look what I found. Turns
oh, and my goodness. Ryan Anderson goes behind the back. Desmond Lee ends up on his, and a quick floater from Ryan Anderson.
Substitution, Julian Boyd going to the bench, Mo Bolden on the floor.
So Bird's going to throw the inbounds pass here. Alex Johnson. Over to Carl English. Mo Bolden in tight on him. English is going to back Bolden up, and he'll get a quick floater over top.
And that's a bread and butter for him. He knows he can get that shot anytime.
So Herring Jr. across the timeline for the Lightning. Over to Kyle Johnson. Johnson swings around over top. He'll take it right to the rim. Too easy. No contention there from the edge. That'll be the easiest 2 points Kyle Johnson gets tonight.
I just feed Reed right here.
And a great move by Bolden to knock that out of Reed's hands.
Because we've seen the Lightning tightening up on the perimeter. You got to go down low, make them pay for being so focused on the perimeter.
So Johnson over to Byrd. Byrd to English. Byrd wide open for a three-point attempt. No good, too hard. Bolden with the rebound. And the Lightning didn't even look like they were going to respect Bird's shot there. Williamson underneath the rim, no good. The crowd and the Lightning both want a foul here. Oh my goodness. Bolden goes in hard there.
I think there might be an ejection or something coming in here. Reed talking to him.
That was Ellenson.
I'm just glad to see Ellenson up right now. That looked bad.
So Bolden.
I believe Bolden's heading right to the locker room.
So that is Bolden's second game in a row where he's going to the locker room early. Or my apologies, was that Marcus Capers' last game?
Yeah.
It was Marcus Capers?
No, I think it was Bolden last game too.
So a tough foul there. Really maybe emotions just getting the better of both teams here. We saw a couple technicals in the first half, and really not a very clean game so far from either team. Lots of whistles, lots of stoppages.
Well, I said earlier, there's a lot of heat between these two teams. They're both fighting for the same conference crown, and it's been a physical one throughout. Just boiled over right there in London. Now, here's the interesting thing for London. You've already got Boyd in foul trouble. You just lost Bolden. Who's going to play on the inside for you now? Because if I'm St. John's, if I'm Ryan Reed, I'm licking my lips right now. Because who's going to cover him?
Really, your big man left on the bench is D'Alembert?
That's about it. Because the Kincube got deactivated, so the closest thing they have after D'Alembert would be Williams Jr. And I'm not sure he qualifies quite as a big man.
So Ellenson sinks his first here. So just about halfway through this third quarter here, we've got a 65-62 Lightning lead. And that's going to be a big momentum shift there for the Edge.
Because London, they weren't pulling away by any means, but they were on a nice rhythm. They had a nice roll going on offense, and just like that, you're letting the Edge right back into the game, 2 shots and possession.
So the refs and the Edge bench having a discussion here.
Not sure what the discussion needs to be. They kicked Bolden out.
The fans are letting them know they want to get back to some game action here. Whistle blows, we'll get the inbounds. And kind of stuck the wind out of the stadium here, Chris.
No kidding.
Alex Johnson down to Byrd. Byrd makes a move to the interior. He'll feed Haas outside. Haas is going to slice on the inside. No good.
And they're going to call push in the back there, I think, on Reed. Come on, guys. We don't need to talk about every foul.
So Ryan Reed, yep, he is going to pick up the foul, in fact, there.
It's going to be 3 on Reed.
So Capers moves down the court here. He's going to attack Reed. Flips back to Anderson. Anderson drives to the interior to Friesen Laddie. Can't put up that 2-ball, but we're going to get a foul on the way there.
Bailed out by the foul, too.
So that's team foul number 6 on the edge already.
Everything's shot now with 5 minutes to go in the quarter.
Friesen Laddie goes 1 for 1 to start. And 2 for 2 for Joel Friesen Laddie. Alex Johnson moving quickly down. Ellenson with the ball. Byrd over to Johnson. Johnson down low to Ryan.
This is what they want, although that's absolutely an offensive foul. That was silly.
Kirk Williams Jr. giving up a lot of size and weight there to Reed, but Reed gets a little too aggressive with the elbows there.
Yeah, swung the arm around to try and turn that corner, but I don't even think he really needed to. He ended up just catching Williams Jr. in the back of the head. That's a free possession for London, and that's going to be 4 on Reed. He has to sit now. You know, I know it's his first game, but I have a feeling Reed's going to be an impact player for this Edge team once he gets completely acclimated to the team.
And Ryan Anderson no good with the deep 3. Brempong trying for the rebound. Kyle Johnson out hustles him, though. Looking to make a move. He's going to feed Anderson deep. Anderson over to Kyle Johnson. 3-ball. And there haven't been many of them, but they've been timely for the Lightning. They've really jump-started them and gotten them back in this game. So Brempong, he'll try and go baseline, feeds Haas under the net. Haas can't get it to go. Johnson's going to collect that rebound out on the corner.
There's someone open.
He'll
have 3 defenders going after Johnson like that.
Brempong down. Haas from the corner 3. No good.
That's going to be a foul on Williams Jr. I believe he threw Brempong down.
So just over 4 minutes left in the quarter here.
But that time, I don't know what London was doing. They had a good zone going, 2-3. But then for whatever reason, you had 3 guys chase Alex Johnson out to the Bud Gardens logo at the bottom of your screen there. Not sure what that was about.
So Skeet on the floor here for the Edge now. Haas down low to Byrd. Byrd throws it up off the glass. No good. Brempong with the rebound. He'll collect 2.
Straight hustle play there from Brempong. You got to love that if you're the coach.
Ryan Anderson moving across the timeline. Feeds Kyle Johnson, thinks deep 3. And Ellenson's going to pick up the foul there going into Johnson off the shot fake. So we've got a 6-point Lightning lead here, just under 4 left in the third quarter. Kyle Johnson's going to shoot 2.
Again, Edge over the limit. Everything's a shot now.
And if you want to know how tight the Lightning scoring is, Mo Bolden, who has been ejected from the game, was their leading scorer. Kyle Johnson's going to take the lead here on the free throws. But
only 2 in double digits.
Yeah, really just evenly spread out.
All but 1 player who've touched the floor don't have points, or have points, pardon me.
So Smith playing tight defense there on Byrd. Ellenson looking for a friend. Brempong down low underneath with Capers. He'll throw up a floater, and
Capers looked like he got caught in the face there by Brempong.
Smith. Kirk Williams Jr. He's going to cut in towards the basket. He goes for the finish. Ellenson's not going to let him have that one, though, so Kirk Williams Jr. will take 2 from the line.
Two big Windsor connections there between Ellenson and Williams Jr. Didn't quite play together. Williams Jr. spending last year with the River Lions. But two guys who've had very good years for the Express in the past. Ellenson last season, all-rookie team. And then, of course, Williams Jr., a former finals MVP.
So Kirk Williams Jr. misses the first of 2. And Chris, this series so far has been defined by basically home arena advantage. The Edge take 2 in St. John's. The Lightning come back and win 2 here. And we'll go away for 2 more in St. John's to finish the regular season series. And you got to think first place in this conference might determine who takes away that series if these teams realistically were to meet.
Well, I mean, both teams coming into this game had the same amount of wins. That's going to change after tonight, obviously, but both very evenly matched.
So Brempong grabs a rebound there, tries to throw it back up, but he's going to get fouled along the way. Brempong no good, short on that first one. And Ashton Smith almost losing himself there. Would have been a rarity to see a second lane violation.
We're going to have a foul right there, this time on Byrd.
Knocked the mouthpiece right out of Capers' mouth.
I got to say, Capers has been getting just beat up in this game.
I believe that was his mouthpiece. Yeah, that's what's in his hand.
Yep.
Actually, no, I think looks like maybe some sort of like a chain or a piece of jewelry there. Looks like Friesen Laddie just picked something else up off the floor for him. Maybe just a case of Byrd grabbing onto whatever he could there from Capers, trying to prevent him from getting away.
It's not Michael Crabtree, man. He can't snatch the chain.
So Capers will sink his first. And the Lightning with an 8-point advantage, just under 3 left to play. Skeet over to Glaze. Haven't heard a lot from Glaze this game. He'll set the screen. Inside to Glaze. Johnson will get the tip on that. Sorry, that was Smith. Kirk Williams Jr. collects the ball. He'll go in off the glass, and that's 2 for Kirk Williams Jr. And some tough defense being played here by the Lightning. Just not letting anything go, but they're going to foul Skeet trying to slash into the inside there. Didn't quite catch who the foul was on there, Chris.
Foul's going to be on Ashton Smith.
So he'll feed Brempong down low. He'll grab a little floater, and Brempong making a difference down low ever since Ryan Reed has left the game. Capers trying to drive Skeet inside. No good. Grabs his own rebound. No good again. Grabs his second rebound. And really, that's what the Lightning needed to build on in this second half is getting first and second chances.
And I don't recall Capers ever being this aggressive on the offensive end. He wants his shots, and he's been making them.
Brempong again for two, no good. Smith collects the rebound. Kyle Johnson feeds Kirk Williams Jr. for the huge alley-oop. The bench is on their feet. The fans are loving it.
And now we're starting to hear some life from this crowd. Now they're starting to feel good about this.
And the Lightning have turned this game on its head. What started out as a particularly close matchup, we've got a 12-point advantage for the Lightning here. And Kirk Williams Jr. is going to pick up a foul, unfortunately, at the other end here. Coach Vassell pleading for anything here.
Again, both teams over the limit.
So Haas is going to take two. And 2 for 2 for Tyler Haas.
Oh, they were ready to go long.
Kirk Williams Jr.
He was
caught
hanging out on the
unawares
bench.
just at the end of the court.
He was trying to hang out by the London bench to see if anyone would forget about him, and they forgot him entirely. The ref probably saved 2 points there.
Ashton Smith with the dribble. Over to Williams Jr. Williams Jr. playing tough in there, mismatched on Alex Johnson, and he'll get an easy two over top of him.
And you got to love the way Kirk Williams Jr. has really stepped up in the back half of this quarter here.
And once again, another foul down the court. I think both teams might be happy to get out of this quarter here, Chris. Both teams in foul trouble. Some offensive mishaps for both teams.
Hey, when they're playing, it's great, but these breaks have made this the longest 12 minutes of the game.
And Johnson, no good for his first. He'll go 1 for 2, though. Down under a minute here, 83-72, the Lightning lead. Smith feeds Johnson on the exterior. 3-ball, good for Johnson, and he's lighting it up in this second half so far. English down to Brempong. Brempong down low. Kirk Williams Jr. comes in for the block. Can't quite get his hands on it.
Shout out Brempong with 9 points in this quarter.
Kyle Johnson deep from 3. No good. He gets run over, but Capers collects the ball. So we're not going to have a shot clock here. Capers is going to dribble it out. Capers is going to take it himself. Bumps Carl English. Williams Jr. with the rare 3-ball. No good. Ellenson with the rebound. That's going to end the half. And at the end of 3 here, we've got the Lightning leading 86-74. I'm Brendan once again with Chris, and we'll take you to the fourth quarter after this break. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here for the final frame with the Knoxstrom TV broadcast of the London Lightning versus the visiting St. John's Edge. We go into the fourth quarter with the London Lightning holding an 86-74 advantage, and the Edge kind of lost themselves there in the third quarter there, Chris.
Yeah, London started to get some shots from their guys too. Anderson and especially Kyle Johnson really starting to get some buckets. Ooh, tough crash there. Good hustle from Ashton Smith. London's going to keep the ball.
And Henkel's going to pick up his fifth foul there on the hold.
So just like that, London, not only do you get Henkel into some very major foul trouble here, but you also get the ball back. That's a big win for London to start the quarter. Just a quick out-of-town score. Cape Breton Highlanders 112 over the Island Storm 110. And right now, minute 30 left. Windsor Express up 107-105 over the Niagara River Lions.
So Capers gives Smith the inbounds. Johnson playing him tight. Smith over to Johnson. Smith back to Kirk Williams Jr. Feeds Johnson for the three. And Ellenson runs him over. We get no whistle. The Edge players run themselves over.
This has been a very physical game.
Yeah. And it's shown. The fouls, the whistles, the stoppages in play, and those kids with the mops are earning it today.
Bit of a risky lineup. Some guys in some foul trouble on the floor here. Looking at Reed sitting at 4. Brempong at 3.
And, oh no, what a finish that would have been. Capers just quite can't connect off that pass. Carl English is going to connect with a 3 of his own, though. Quiet the crowd.
Potentially a big momentum swing there.
Capers dishes to Kirk Williams Jr. Leaves it for Johnson. Johnson, he'll take a long 2. No good there. Brempong with the rebound. A long lineup here for the Edge. Brempong and Reed on the floor. Carl English over to Reed. Big mismatch against Ashton Smith there. Alex Johnson.
Mouse in the house.
Kirk Williams Jr. is going to come in for some help. Brempong with the long 2. No good. Short on that basket.
I think you would have liked to see an extra pass on that one because they actually had English fairly open on the corner there.
So Capers down the floor. Julian Boyd on the floor here for the Lightning. And
they just call that on Boyd?
We just got a technical from the bench.
Oh my.
My goodness. Clearly just some words that the referee caught from the bench there. And this will be some free baskets here for the Edge. Maybe some backseat refereeing there from the bench that the referee didn't take kindly to.
Well, I think the refs have made it clear at this point in the game they're not going to take any back talk. So no matter what came from the Lightning bench, anything right now, even if it was minor, is probably going to get you in trouble with the refs.
So English with a rare miss there from the free throw line. Edge will retain the ball. And let's not forget the last game. The Edge walked into that fourth quarter with a 16-point advantage, and the Lightning came out of the other side of the game with a win. So no rest for the wicked here for the Lightning. They've got to stay on this team. Byrd feeds Desmond Lee. Lee over to Johnson. Trying to get down low to Reed. Over to English. English is going to take a 3. And at the expiry of the shot clock, a big 3 from Reed there. Or sorry, from Carl English. Friesen Laddie down low to Kirk Williams Jr. Reed with the good defensive play there to keep Kirk Williams Jr. away from the rim. Johnson quickly down the floor. Smith plays him tough, but no, in off the glass. 4-point game now.
Yeah, timeout.
And Coach Vassell's going to call a timeout here. Keep things from getting messy. And we'll take a quick break as we go to timeout here. All right, folks, back to the Knoxstrom TV broadcast. Brendan Jameson here with my partner, Chris Croucher. Chris, a big momentum shift for the St. John's edge there in the first couple minutes of the fourth quarter.
Well, I mean, you get a couple big threes from Carl English. You get that technical foul called on the Lightning bench. Just a lot of good things to start the fourth there for the Edge.
Well, Kirk Williams Jr. feeding Herring Jr. Maybe looking to make a move past Johnson here down low. Reed for the help. Julian Boyd with the three. No good. Friesen Laddie tried to finish at the rim.
You can't forget about Boyd. He has a mid-range game. He has a three-point game. He likes to play inside, but you can't forget that he can stretch the floor.
And Reed runs over Boyd, and Boyd is going to pick up the foul, and he is frustrated. That is number 5 for Julian Boyd.
I'm not sure how his feet would have moved there, but he was outside the restricted area. That's 5 on Boyd now.
So Johnson to inbound. And the fans getting impatient here with the referees.
How about Carl English? Double duty there. Taking that mop. But yeah, a couple of the fans very audibly displeased.
The pace of the game significantly slower than you'd see. But it's been a tough physical game, and a lot of these calls have been the correct calls. Ryan Reed from deep, no good. And
communicate, guys. Ooh, that's a foul on Lee.
That'll just be Lee's second foul of the game.
You know, Desmond Lee, maybe I don't think we've been giving him enough love in this game. He was a big part of why London's wing players couldn't get going in the first half. He also has 10 rebounds in this game. Again, we've got the crowd chanting, "Let them play."
So Anderson down across half court. Anderson over to DeLambert. Desmond Lee with another rebound. And D'Alembert is going to pick up the foul there. And that's his third in limited time.
A lot of guys in London, some interesting foul spots. You have 5 on Boyd, 3 on, well, Bolden's out. 3 on Ryan Anderson, 3 on Kirk Williams Jr., 4 on Ashton Smith, 3 on D'Alembert now.
So Carl English with the ball here. He'll go up with a floater for 2, no good. That's going to go off Byrd, and that's going to go out of bounds. That'll be Lightning ball.
I think Byrd thought about going for the dive there. Realized there'd be no one to catch him, though.
So the Lightning looking a little disjointed offensively so far in this fourth. Struggling to move the ball down the floor. Herring Jr. is going to take a three. No good.
Everything but in.
Desmond Lee controls the ball. Over to English. Swings it over for Byrd. Byrd to Desmond Lee. He'll take a three. No good. That's Anderson with the rebound. Anderson swings around and throws up a prayer, and it goes. And he'll take that foul on the way, too. What a move by Ryan Anderson.
Well, prayer answered as Ryan Anderson just chucks it up there. And again, Anderson, a guy who's had some troubles getting it going. That's only going to be his 10th points in this game for a guy who usually puts up big numbers for the Lightning. However, he has been helping his teammates. 6 assists in a game where the buckets have been hard to come by.
And that's going to be Reed's 5th foul as well there.
Not a good day for big men. You've got Boyd having to go out, Bolden ejected, Reed's in foul trouble. Brempong at 3 is probably the cleanest of them right now.
Anderson finishes a three-point play there. 89-82, Lightning lead. Johnson swings to English, and that ball's going to go the other way.
It's another lost possession for the Edge, and that's constantly coming back to bite them.
And that's Brempong, our clean big man. He's going to go up to 4 fouls here.
Clean-ish, based on the foul situation. I mean, 4 fouls is actually the lowest of just about all the big men in this game, so.
So Herring Jr. with the ball here. Trying to make some decisions. He'll slice it in himself. He'll throw up the 2. No good, and we've got a blocking foul here on Byrd.
That's 5 on Byrd. Make that 4, pardon me. Nope, that is in fact his 5th.
So Herring Jr. to shoot 2 here. So 1 for 2 for Herring Jr.
Way this game's going, we're going to have a Herring Jr. versus a Hinkle front court.
So Skeet with the ball here.
Got a final score in the other game tonight. Windsor 112 over Niagara 110.
Desmond Lee looking to move some bodies. He'll go in himself. No good. Dallenberg makes that shot tough. Ryan Anderson moving quickly the other way. Tried to feed Friesen Laddie. Desmond Lee there for the pickoff, though. Herring Jr. won't let him have that basket. And that'll be number 1 on Herring Jr.
Speaking of keeping clean in this game, it's almost shocking some of the guys who are still sitting at 0 fouls for London. I mean, you've got 0 on fouls on until now on Herring Jr. 0 on Capers somehow, considering how physical he's been all night.
So an inbounds pass here. Skeet over to English. English down low to Brempong. Herring Jr. with the pickoff, though. Great play by him. And really just a wasted pass there. Desmond Lee will attack the rim himself. Dallenberg with the block. Great hustle play for the rebound there.
Looked like Sam with that block there, Dallenberg.
Friesen Laddie, he's going to attack the rim. Over top, little floater there. So Friesen Laddie playing some tough D on Carl English. So Friesen Laddie's going to pick up a foul here, trying to guard the big man Brempong.
There have been 54 fouls in this game. We still have 6 minutes to play.
So Carl English with the ball. Over to Hinkle. Hinkle with the deep three. No good. Herring Jr. over to Ryan Anderson. Dallenberg sets up the screen. Feeds and just that pass a little bit too much. Hinkle's going to go down the floor here. Anderson with a great defensive play. That's going to go out off of Hinkle. And great play by Anderson there to just get his arm in there without getting the reach.
I don't know why the Edge aren't able to take care of the ball. You take care of the ball and you're probably winning this one. Just way too many turnovers.
And on the other point of that, if the Lightning had finished on half as many turnovers as they had, this would be a 30-point game by now, Chris.
Well, I mean, the turnovers are 16-5. So, I mean, you've got St. John's turning it over way too much, and London, early in the game at least, weren't able to execute on them.
So Herring Jr. down to Ioanni. Ioanni's going to get fouled here. And that's Ryan Reed. And I believe that's number 6 on the big man. And, yeah, he's going to walk himself off the court here. So Ryan Reed in his first game fouls out, Chris.
Tough break for Reed. I think he's going to be a real difference maker once he gets adjusted to the St. John's Edge team. He's kind of exactly what they needed, to be honest.
A pretty good-looking stat line nonetheless there from Ryan Reed, 10, 7, and 4.
And, again, limited minutes, too. This is a guy playing his first game with a new team. The move only got announced yesterday, so...
So Herring Jr. trying to back up Skeet. Over to Williamson. Williamson, no good there. Dallenberg with the ball feeds Kyle Johnson outside. 3-ball. And Kyle Johnson has been a difference maker in this second half for the Lightning.
He's about the only guy that's been able to consistently get their buckets for the Lightning. He's sitting at 20 points now on 7 of 15 shooting. Again, one of the only guys who's been consistently able to get his buckets.
English over to Glaze. Glaze trying to throw it up for Brempong underneath the rim. Dallenberg. Brempong's going to get the floater over him. So Herring Jr. across the timeline here. 5:10 left in the fourth quarter. Kyle Johnson makes a move his own. Lets Skeet roll into him, and he's going to take 3 there.
London's starting to put on the gas just a little bit here, see if they can pull away. Skeet having a little extra conversation about that.
So Johnson's going to get 3 from the charity stripes here. Can't take advantage of the first one. And once again, we'll slow down play.
Lots of stopping and starting with the flow tonight.
So 2 for 3 for Kyle Johnson there. 13-point Lightning advantage now. 97-84. Skeet with the ball. He'll feed Carl English. Over to Hinkle. Hinkle down low to Brempong. Brempong shoulders his way in, but Kyle Johnson's going to collect that rebound. Feeds Ryan Anderson deep from 3. And just amazing from Ryan Anderson. I think he hit from that exact same spot earlier in the game, and if that's where you're going to need to hit the threes from, go right ahead.
Hey, I mean, he's a guy, he's usually makes that shot. Why not keep it up? And that time it's going to go for Skeet there.
So Herring Jr. over to Williamson. Williamson driving the lane. No good there. English is going to collect that rebound. The Lightning look like they're challenging Hinkle here in the final half of the fourth quarter, maybe trying to get him to pick up that 6th. Hinkle going in. He'll lose his balance, though. Dallenberg is going to pick up the foul here on the hold.
It's going to be 4 on Dallenberg. Oh, I feel like we're going to say that for every foul the rest of the way they've been calling them. Now sitting at 57 fouls in the game.
So Hinkle. 2 for 2 for him. So the Edge will take a timeout here, and we'll take a quick media timeout as well. Brendan with Chris. We'll see you on the other side of the break. All right, back from the timeout with Brendan Jameson and Chris Croucher. One last crack at this game for the Edge. Stuck 12 points here to the Lightning. Just under 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter here, Chris.
Hey, London's done it to St. John's. Let's see if St. John's can do it to London, come back from that deficit. Again, last meeting between these two teams here in Bud Gardens, it was London who had to make the double-digit point comeback. You know, with St. John's, I know they haven't been playing well as well in this fourth quarter, as we're going to see a lot of pressure from the Edge there.
Johnson with the feed between the legs.
I think they're going to say Hinkle got a foot on it.
Yeah, barely.
But I mean, I know St. John's, these guys haven't been shooting well in the fourth quarter, but when you got Hinkle and English in the game, anything really can happen.
So Williamson feeds Anderson. Garrett Williamson making a move past Desmond Lee. Little Euro step there, no good. So Desmond Lee's going to pick up the foul there. And so some shots from the stripe here for Williamson. One for one. And 2 for 2 for Garrett Williamson. So Skeet down the court. Over to English. English over to Hinkle.
That was a really tough matchup for D'Alembert there. I know he picked up the foul, but to stay with Hinkle and prevent that corner three was an excellent job by D'Alembert.
So number 5 for D'Alembert. So Kirk Williams Jr. is going to check in place of Yoani D'Alembert. The Lightning now with just one foul to give. Carl English with the floater for 2. And that really is his money shot there, Chris.
He's able to make that mid-range one from the right side almost automatically.
So Herring Jr. over to Kyle Johnson in the corner. Feeds Kirk Williams Jr. He'll take a 3-ball, no good. Desmond Lee collects the rebound. Lee makes a move past Herring Jr. He'll get a tough floater in the basket.
Beautiful play there from Lee.
Anderson. Makes a move through Ellenson. Nope, that's going to be a kick ball there. Anderson down to Herring Jr. Herring Jr. loses control of the ball, goes baseline, puts it up off the glass, collects his rebound. No good again, and that's going to go out off of Herring Jr.'s hands. Real tough plays down underneath by Herring Jr.
Did just about everything he could but score on that.
So Darren Lee trying to use his speed to get past Kirk Williams Jr. up off the glass. No good. Williamson collects the ball. Williamson down the court.
It's going to be a foul on Ellenson. Number 4 on Ellenson.
I think we're just about getting up to number 4 on everybody.
Desmond Lee, of the guys who've seen some more of the minutes tonight, Desmond Lee at 3, probably the lowest. And Kyle Johnson at 0. That's the anomaly right there.
2 for 2 for Williamson there. 2.5 left, 104-92 for the Lightning. Carl English looking a little shake there. Anderson's going to pick up the foul on the floor. Number 4 for Anderson. I believe that's his first in the second half, though.
That is, in fact, his first in this half.
So English will take 2. And another rare miss from Carl English.
Before now have been nearly perfect from the line.
So he'll go 1 for 2. Herring Jr. flips over to Williams Jr.
Great
To
pass.
Williamson. Anderson in the corner, and another 3.
That was a worst case scenario for the Edge, and it just happened.
So Hinkle feeds Skeet under the basket. He'll take it back outside. Carl English from the top of the arc. No good. Ball blasts off the rim. Skeet collects the rebound. Desmond Lee will take a corner 3. No good. Ellenson tries to finish. No good. And that'll go out off of Lightning hands. Edge ball. The ref backing Ryan Anderson away from the line a little bit there. English over to Skeet. And number 5 on Ryan Anderson goes in a little too hard with the shoulder on Carl English.
Yeah, just caught English right in the mouth.
So I believe pretty much all but 1 quarter we've had both teams reach the limit, Chris.
Absolutely. Feels like these are the first free throws of the game.
Two for 2 for Carl English there. Kirk Williams Jr. out to Williamson. Down under 2 minutes here. Williamson makes a move past Ellenson. Williamson tosses up a floater. They're going to say it goes out off Williamson. Wisely throws it off Hinkle.
He was off his feet and threw it off Hinkle. They're going to talk about this. Williamson was definitely off his feet and hit Hinkle while Hinkle was standing out of bounds. London maintains it. Lots of conversation around the building about this one.
So Herring Jr. over to Williams Jr. Kyle Johnson back to Williams Jr. Garrett Williamson going to bleed out a little bit of clock here. Shot clock under 10. He'll take it to the rim. Carl English is going to pick up a foul.
It's number 4 on English.
And Chris, I think at this point, all said and done, we have to be getting close to a foul record here.
Something like that. I mean, we're over 60 fouls in the game now. I can recall a game, I've been doing this a while, I can recall a game where we went over 60. I think we had a game at 70, in fact. That was years ago, though.
So Hinkle, I believe, is getting teed up there, so that's goodbye to Charles Hinkle. So that's our second ejection of the game. Or sorry, I believe that's just his 6th foul. So sorry, he'll just take a seat on the bench there. 12-point lead with about a minute and a half left here.
Yeah, 64 fouls in this one, if my math is right. Good chance it isn't. I'm not very good at math, but believe we're at 64.
So Williamson, a good free throw shooter, going to make the most of his chances here. 3 for 3. And Lightning possession, 15-point lead now.
Kept my mouth shut on that one. Last time I praised his improved free throw shooting, I think he went 50% in that game.
So the Lightning just looking to bleed some clock here. He throws up. Kirk Williams Jr. a little bit off center of the rim. Can't make the shot. Kyle Johnson with the long floater for 2. Williamson, he's going to collect the foul here. Chris, you want to hear something crazy?
I'd love to.
That's Garrett Williamson's first of the game.
Again, a lot of the fouls concentrated on those bigs. So Kyle Johnson right now, the only Saint on the floor.
So Desmond Lee gets a couple back for the edge there. Anderson shoots over to Williamson, feeds Kyle Johnson in the corner. He'll take a 3, and that's good. And Kyle Johnson is on fire in this second half and may as well be MVP of the game at this point.
Absolutely for the London Lightning. When guys weren't able to shoot pretty well most of the game, he was the guy that stepped up.
And a big 3 from Carl English, no good. Ellenson with the rebound. He goes for the finish. Williams Jr. over the back there. He'll collect a foul.
Only 4.
So Ellenson to shoot 2. No good on his first. Much too strong there. And 1 for 2 for Ellenson. Still a 15-point Lightning advantage.
How'd Ellenson not get a foul there?
Big chuck there from Kirk Williams Jr. over to Williamson. Williamson's going to drive the lane and count it. And down under a minute here. This game got away from the edge late there, Chris. They played it tight in the first half. A tight third quarter and really just couldn't catch up to the Lightning in the fourth.
Well, it was really the third quarter that London turned it around. 37 points in that quarter. Really gave London the foothold, and they've just never really let up. They've continued to push all of this fourth quarter.
So Desmond Lee makes a move to the basket. No good there. Ellenson with the finish, though. And a bad pass from Williams Jr. there. Give that possession back to the edge. Might be a little bit too late for the turnover battle, unfortunately, for the edge. He'll feed Skeet. Skeet over to Ellenson. Ellenson will take a three. And that basket will be good. Williamson will just make his way down the court. Take a little clock with him. Anderson trying to be fancy to Herring Jr., almost not expecting it. The fans on their feet here in the Budweiser Gardens. Herring Jr. is going to back Skeet up. He'll go inside, lose control, and we'll have one more whistle end the game there, folks. And we'll get the inbounds there. Lee will throw up a prayer of a three. Anderson with the rebound. He'll go the other way. And we'll let that clock run down to the end of the game. Big win in the conference for the London Lightning. 116 to 103 here in Budweiser Gardens tonight. With Chris Croucher, I'm Brendan Jameson. Thank you for joining us for tonight's game broadcast with Knoxstrom TV.